Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this rule and in support of the underlying legislation. The rule provides for consideration of H.Res. 1371, a resolution strongly condemning the Biden administration and its border czar, Harris. Their failure to secure the U.S. border under a closed rule with 1 hour of debate equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on Homeland Security or their respective designees. Mr. Speaker, since Biden-Harris took office, American leadership, both at home and abroad, has become weak and feckless. And that's just putting it mildly. On the global stage, we have seen the Houthis creating chaos in the Red Sea after the administration delisted them as a foreign terrorist organization. And then just last week, they successfully launched a deadly suicide drone attack in Tel Aviv. Iran has grown stronger and more dangerous than ever. Their proxies, Hamas and Hezbollah, are launching a two-front war against Israel and have attacked our service members over 100 times since October 7th. And now their nuclear program is 1 or 2 weeks away from the time needed to produce enough weapons-grade material for a nuclear weapon. Even Secretary Blinken stated, and I quote, "Where we are now is not a good place." Now, I can continue talking about the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal, about Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine, following the administration's decision to greenlight Nord Stream 2, or I could talk about record high inflation reaching over 20% under Biden and Harris. But the biggest failure is the crisis at the southern border. Just 64 days into this administration, Biden named Harris his border czar. Now my friends from across the aisle are trying to cover up her failures as border czar and trying to argue that she was never even in charge. But to their chagrin, I brought receipts with me. So let me read you a few headlines and quotes. Here's Axios on the 14th of April, 2021, and I quote, "The number of unoccupied minors crossing the border has reached crisis levels. Harris, appointed by Biden as border czar, said she would be looking at the quote-unquote root causes that drive migration." Now, that was Axios in 2021. Here's another headline from the Associated Press on March 24th, 2021. That headline is, "Biden taps VP Harris to lead response to border challenges." Here's another one from Axios, March 24th, 2021. "Biden puts Harris in charge of border crisis." And just wait for it. Here's President Biden on that same day, March 24th, 2021. Biden's exact quote, "She's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle and the countries that are going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks, stemming the migration to our southern border," end quote. That was Joe Biden. And the president went on further. He said, and I quote again, "It's not her full responsibility and job, but she's leading the effort because I think the best thing to do is put someone who, when he or she speaks, they don't have to wonder about, is that where the president is? As she speaks for me, doesn't have to check with me," end quote. So now the debate has been settled. President Biden clearly put Vice President Harris in charge of the border. And what did the border czar Harris do? 94 executive actions related to the border, the Biden-Harris administration. They halted the construction of the border wall and ended Remain in Mexico, and they established the Catch and Release program. And what were the results? Well, in February 2021, the country witnessed a 174% increase in southwest border encounters compared to February of 2020. On her watch, there have been over 9.6 million illegal immigrant encounters nationwide. Experts estimate the number of known gotaways, those are illegal immigrants who have evaded capture, those exceed 2 million. And in May of 2021, CBP encountered over 180,000 individuals attempting to enter the country illegally along the southwest border. That was a staggering 675% increase from May of 2020. Since fiscal year 2021, 378 illegal aliens on the terrorist watch list have been apprehended at our southern border. In June, NBC reported that over 400 illegal immigrants with ties to ISIS entered the U.S. under border czar Harris, and 50 of these individuals, their whereabouts are still unknown. So in fiscal year 2024, there have been a record-breaking 31,000 Chinese nationals encountered at the southwest border. And perhaps the worst stat of them all, We've lived through 39 months where the total encounters have been higher than even the highest month seen under President Trump. So this is a really simple vote. If you're okay with those results, go ahead and vote no. If you think Border Czar Harris has failed the American people, vote yes. It's really that simple. I urge my colleagues to support this rule, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Pennsylvania reserves.